So, hier brauchen wir eine Kupplung, ein Haar.
Bon dia and welcome to our next update. In this episode we are trying to repair a 3-kilometer long water pipe.
The father of Luis, the previous owner, laid the pipe in the ground more than 70 years ago to have a direct water connection from his property above Montinho to our land. His family used this water for decades to cultivate all the fruit terraces without using any electricity, only gravity. The only problem is that the water stopped flowing after the big fire in 2018. And that's where we come in. So relax and enjoy.
And to give an idea of how long the pipe actually is, we'll show you its route on a map. The pipe starts at Waterpipe, an area above Montinho with a lot of water. The pipe lays in the stream until it disappears into the ground after about 500 meters and comes out again at the hill ruins. The old water system is designed so that the overflowing water from the upper tank flows into the lower tank. The lower tank was connected to a pipe system that supplied the entire terraces with water. When the water was not needed, it was directed to a large terrace which also has a small freshwater spring. The spring comes directly from the mountain and flows into a small pond. It is the perfect place for white boars, frogs and dragonflies. From there, the water was routed into a shaft that led down to the stream in the valley. In this way, the water was returned to the same stream from which it had previously been taken. Luis' family built the entire shaft by hand. It first leads through some overgrown olive terraces and then runs alongside the road directly into the stream next to the old village. This system is absolutely genius and sustainable, so of course we would like to reactivate it again. But now, back to the leaks.
Luis immediately wanted to help us and to show us the route of the pipe. He brought his son along to translate. Luis is simply the best person and always so happy to talk about this land. Let's see where the pipe starts. The pipe starts at Luis' sister property, which is located above Montinho and has an incredible amount of water.
Enter.
The garden of the property was a huge orchard, but also completely overgrown. It had so many fruit trees and plants that Lillian loved it immediately.
When the land is cleared in a few months, the pipe will be reconnected to the water tank, to which it was previously attached. Until then, it will remain in the stream.
Water is not working.
It's closed? No.
Because?
Now it's working.
It's working?
Sì, agora está a funcionar, né? Sì, now it...
But there's one pipe that he showed us on the way to here that is broke. So is this the reason it's not working to our property?
Luis tried to explain to us that there were several leaks because some of the connections were burned by the fire and that we had to find them first.
I was allowed to pick a few avocados from the biggest avocado tree we have ever seen. That only motivated us even more to plant countless trees on our terraces and to get the water we needed.
Ich liebe das Grundstück, ist so geil.
Das ist so krass, ne?
Das ist so geil.
Wie viel Wasser gibt's denn bitte?
Das kaufe ich sofort. Wirklich, ich kaufe sofort, ist mir egal.
Wir haben 22 Hektar.
Esta também a gente tínhamos porte, mas também desapareceu.
Off to check the first connection below the beginning of the pipe. We had to climb straight into a tunnel, but luckily the connection was fine.
Das war ein Übergang auf eine dickere.
Ja, aber es ist nur reingesteckt.
Okay.
Agora, se quiserem descobrir lá assim, o engote do ouro, para perceber?
Se quiserem descobrir.
Sim.
We had to look from above to see if we could find any further connections in the heavily overgrown stream.
At the next spot, we found 3 connections. The lowest one leads directly into the ground, next to a small dog kennel. The other 2 connectors are in the stream.
Hat der sich die einfach geklaut oder wie?
Nee. Oder endet die da?
One of the connections was broken at a transition from a thin to a thick pipe. Apparently the pipe was damaged during a cleanup on the stream and replaced by a much smaller pipe over several hundred meters. We put stones on the pipe to keep the water flowing for now. Before we repaired the leak, Luis showed us another spot a few hundred meters away from our property. The leak is in a heavily overgrown wooded area with mimosa trees and is completely burned.
Wo ist denn dieser Bereich? Oh.
Das wüsste ich, dass das nicht schwierig ist. Ich muss ja hier rein. Ach du Scheiße.
Wie weit geht das denn da oben? Das ist ja auch zertrümmert da.
Ja, aber das wird jetzt im Boden wieder reingehen. Das kommen wir da nicht hin.
Ja, dann machen wir oben zusammen. Ich mach oben zusammen. Oder?
Ich mach oben zusammen.
Gut. Ja, gut.
Hier können wir eh nicht so viel arbeiten.
Nee, ich denke, was ist die Uhrzeit? Fest.
Dave's dad first had to clear the area around the leak and dig out the pipe. At the same time, we drove to the leak in the stream Luis just showed us and repaired it.
Tschüss, Joachim.
Tschüss.
Du musst kurz winken für die Kamera.
Okay, komm. Schau mal. Mach mal oben.
Was wird?
Was wird?
Was wird? Schauen wir mal, das wird ganz cool.
Was wird? Nein, nicht ganz cool.
Nicht ganz cool.
Nur- Papa,
muss alleine montieren, wa?
Mal sehen.
Da
Was
kommt
wird?
kein Wasser.
schauen wir mal.
Schauen wir mal.
Aber hast dein Handy auf
Was
laut?
wird?
Mach ich erst.
Nee, das sagst du mir gar nicht.
Okay. Ich hab noch was vom rausgeholt.
Dann muss es auch so. Richtig. Das sieht gut aus. Okay.
Pass auf deine Hand auf, Papa, ne? Ist ganz schön nah da. Tief. Oh, Junge, 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 Junge.
We have added a counter for repaired leaks. What do you think? How many leaks have we repaired? And is the water flowing at the end of the video? Feel free to write your answer in the comments.
Ja, das eine ging super schnell.
Eine war.
Joachim did a good job uncovering the burnt pipe, so we could repair the leak as well.
Und wir haben noch per Hand nur reingedreht und war dicht.
Ja, ich will gleich.
Geil. Die sind super, die Dinger hier.
Ja, ne? Die dunkelblauen.
Habt ihr nicht den Schlüssel mit?
The issue with finding leaks is that most of the pipe was laid underground, and we only have Luis' memory as a starting point for finding them. Of course, Luis helped as much as he could, but for the most part it was an hour-long search for wet spots or for the sound of running water in the middle of spiky bushes and lots of mosquitoes.
Nee, stell durch.
Und dann ist immer lieber mehr als weniger dann. Und dann macht man immer
wieder ein Stück, über ein
oder
Stück
was?
ab, ja, ja.
Ein Traum.
Sonst hast du ein
Bisschen
Problem.
Fuchs.
Boah, ich raste aus, wirklich.
Die Chris aber richtig gut reingedreht, hier denn hier.
Das System ist nicht schlecht.
Zumachen
Muss man
wir
eigentlich sagen.
Ja, ja.
Eigentlich müsste hier diesen, von dem Pfahl hier runter messen.
Und ihr?
As another connection in the stream was broken, we first had to buy some pipe and then return. Unfortunately, the owners had tied 2 dogs to a chain. The dogs are very frightened but incredibly sweet and love to be cuddled.
Ja, pass
Please, never keep dogs on a chain.
Komm mal schnell in ihre Hütte rein. Oder eher.
Ja.
Ich dachte, dass man das auseinanderziehen kann. Und dann auch oben her bei dem Stab und so, ne? Perfekt.
Erstmal ein Stück hoch, dann
Ja.
können wir schweben. Gehen wir gleich zurück, dann, wenn wir unten angeschlossen haben.
Pass auf, ne? Also voll übel glitschig.
Da hast du ja keine Schuhe angezogen. Jetzt? Weißen? Ist da alles drin? Alles, ja.
Ja, aber das bringt halt nicht so viel. Vielleicht macht er jetzt ein paar Blätter weg oder so.
Gummistiefel sind mir gut.
Ja, sehr praktisch.
Ich habe die wirklich im Auto liegen.
Ja.
Steck mal einfach. Ja. Merkst nicht.
Hol mal. Verschraubung und dann dreh mal gegen.
Wo ist es denn hin?
Richtig.
Ja, scheiß Spüle hier.
Ja, das ist wie.
Ja, Mikro oder so, ich weiß nicht, ist egal. Ja, aber das soll es jetzt gewesen sein
Ja.
hier.
Ja, hoffen wir. So, Lene, gehst du wieder auf die andere Seite?
Dia ist guten Morgen und Waterpipe ist guten Tag. Vom Dia.
Nee, Bonn.
Dia.
My father Roland and Dave looked for more leaks in the stream to make sure the pipe was okay above ground before we looked for more underground leaks.
Ich glaube, der hat Wasser wieder hier. Und hier gegen klein. Aber das ist so. Okay, lass mal.
Ja, das kann der ja nur sein.
We found the location where the large pipe connects to a smaller pipe. To rule out the possibility that the small pipe was blocked with leaves or something similar, we opened the pipe. Fortunately, everything was clear.
Jetzt haben wir ein Problem. Das ist ja natürlich jetzt sehr knapp.
Den Fuß irgendwo. Ach ne, noch nicht. Jetzt.
Vom
Ja,
Dia.
nur mit den Loks. Die
Von der.
Das sind 60, ne? Nein.
Small.
A neighbor called Luis to say that there was a water leak next to his house. Luis and his father's water pipe are so well known in Montinho that the neighbors knew straight away that it must be his pipe.
Ja, das könnte unsere Wasserleitung sein. Da kommt der Vater.
Leise.
Ja, ich glaube auch. Das fließt ja komplett hierher.
Ja, hatte ich ja gehofft, dass wir das kriegen.
Ja, ja. Soll ich hochfahren und die abstellen?
Nee, wir wollen ja hier gucken, wo sie ist, genau.
Ja, gut. Das siehst du ja.
Ja, aber trotzdem. Ja, wir können auch abstellen.
Dann siehst du wenigstens
Wir
was.
können auch hochfahren. Willst du buckeln?
Mir egal, du kannst auch
Hier
hochfahren.
runter noch. Dann drehe ich bei den Hunden da ab. Dann haben wir da oben schon mal gar kein Problem mehr. Alles gefixt.
Ja. Guter Staudamm.
Was machst du
We couldn't repair the leak on the same day and had to continue the next day. Unfortunately, it was raining buckets.
Warten, aber der Regen wird ja abfahren.
Well, we don't know why Joachim didn't buy a rain jacket. He insisted that we bring him big garbage bags. But he had a plan. See for yourself. A genius man.
Geht? Ja. Ein bisschen klug machen. Wahrscheinlich hier.
Ja, dann gehe ich wieder da durch.
Hier?
Ja, ja, ungefähr da.
Gut, der war jetzt ein bisschen gerissen, aber geht, ne?
Sieht aus. Ich habe die Schultern und so was drauf.
Ja, guck mal, wie billig die stehen.
Das ist wirklich ein Müllsack.
Hier.
100 Liter Müllsack an der Straße gefunden.
Muss ich gleich noch mit dem roten kommen, mit dem gelben.
We turned off the water at the location with the chained dogs to make it easier to repair the leak.
Warum macht ihr das jetzt?
Wir müssen sauber machen, damit wir die Manschette drauf machen können. Fertig? Okay, dann lass erstmal kurz. Was machst du jetzt im Regen draußen?
Leak number 7 is repaired. Now we can turn the water back on.
Muito bonito, bueno. Muchas gracias.
Danke.
We thought that a small cuff would be enough as a patch, but the pipe was broken in several places because a root had pressed it against a stone. As there are many trees next to the road, we could hardly imagine that the pipe would not be damaged in the few next meters. So we got a smaller pipe and checked how far we could push it through the larger pipe.
Jetzt.
Nee.
Geht gar nichts mehr. Warte. Nee.
Ruckel noch mal dran.
Komplett fest.
reicht.
Ja, ich konnte so reinschieben.
So, die plus 30 cm. Darum. Und die entfernen. Jetzt haben wir nichts und dann kann man es auslegen. Wir ziehen sie jetzt raus und dann gehen wir da hin.
Ja, mach das mal.
Und dann
Voll
gucken wir
spannend.
Siehst du? Geht? Ja.
Ist gar nicht so weit.
Geh runter, wa? Wird bei den ersten Bäumen sein.
Schon?
Einen Meter noch, ja. Da muss es sein.
Hier.
As you can see, Dave was a bit confused because we didn't even get as far as the trees. But that's what it is. And we had to locate the pipe in the ground again.
Wieder los.
An dem Punkt, wo du gerade warst, Dave,
Ja.
da sind die Steine von der Straße alle in die Seite gesteckt. Und zwar sehr fest in die Erde. Die stecken da an der Seite alle ganz fest in der Erde. Die hat irgendjemand dagegen
Der
gequetscht.
ist 10 cm rein höchstens.
Ja.
Also die Länge. Ja, ist doch fest drücke ich nicht, dass ich ein Rohr kaputt steche.
Ja, beweg dich mal. Nee. Nee. Doch, mach noch mal bitte. Nee. Ich höre nichts. Nee.
We didn't manage to find the pipe again that day. So, off to the next day.
Kriegen wir doch, oder?
Before we could continue, we first stocked up more pipes and connectors.
Willst du nach oben festmachen?
Ich weiß nicht. Keine Ahnung.
Luis was curious and wanted to help. So this time, he came along with his son and a good friend.
Wo willst du reinbohren?
Ja, lass mich mal überlegen.
Ich würde es hier machen, weil wir hier ein bisschen Platz zwischen den beiden Rohren haben. Da sind die direkt
Oben
nebeneinander.
habt ihr zugemacht.
Oben ist offen. Immer zumachen.
Ja, besser zumachen und dann machen wir langsam auf und dann gucken wir.
And after more digging, we found a pipe. But we weren't sure if it was our pipe. This time, it was on the other side of the grey drain pipe. And the water flowed constantly, even though we changed the water pressure.
Now it's open, ja.
Tut sich nichts.
Oh.
Das ist es nicht.
Luis' friend is known in Monchique as a specialist in finding water veins. So it was time for Luis' friend to see if he can find another water pipe.
A very mystical way that people find water with a branch.
Okay.
Right now, he just signed where there was a line of water running underneath. So
Aquilo só acusa quando com a água.
it only accuses when there's one water running.
Okay.
Also, da können wir davon ausgehen.
É milagre.
Do that, yeah.
Yeah, the machine, the digging machine.
It will make your work much easier.
Like we're in the Middle Age with all the...
Hier nicht.
Aqui não dá nada. E não dá. Não dá não. É que não é cor. Não. Não dá não. Aqui dá. Pode ser outubro.
Fascinating.
E é preciso ir agachado. É porque para fazer força na vez com os cotovelos aqui. Aqui posso tubo corre. Aqui para ali não posso não. Se calhar vai aqui.
That's the spot. Yeah.
Ich glaube, mein Trecker brennt.
Não, mas aqui está a fazer força. Está. Aqui rende está. Mas está lá através de trás também. Aqui rende mesmo rende. Não, pode dar. Qualquer pessoa pode dar.
Luis' friend wasn't 100% sure either. So he decided to cut the pipe and bridge the next 40 to 50 meters above the ground.
Wir müssen mal gucken, ob wir durch sind. Das war mir jetzt nicht wichtig. Jetzt kann ich in Ruhe und zwar gerade gucken.
Ja.
Hier tropft es auch nicht. Das kann man sehen. Nee, auch nicht.
So, a few days later, we organized an excavator to replace the pipe at this point. We were absolutely right in our assumption, because the pipe had indeed been destroyed in that section by a thick root, and small roots had grown above 25 meters into the pipe through this crack. That was the reason why we couldn't get any further with a small pipe. It was totally blocked from roots. Unfortunately, we don't have any video footage of this, as we were informed too late. But the pictures speak for themselves.
Seid ihr zufällig einfach hier hochgelaufen?
Nein, wir haben doch von oben das eine, wo dein Vater hat gluckern hören.
Ja.
Ne? Und hat es aber gegluckert. Und dann haben wir gesagt, okay, hier ist ja noch Wasser.
Ja.
Also suchen wir die Leitung zwischen dem und da unten, wo wir repariert haben.
Ja.
Und das ist so ein Zufall.
My father searched a small wooded area and actually found another leak. We knew that the former road to our village led there and that the pipe ran along the edge of this road. So Roland had a small clay wall to guide him. but had to stop every few meters and listen if he could hear some sound of running
Hier war
water.
verbrannt. Hier war verbrannt.
Ist aber kein Wasser drin.
Haltet Ohr dran. Nee, der Verbrannte liegt hier irgendwo anders, glaube ich.
Das ist verbrannt.
Ach, der ist ja verbrannt.
Ja.
Later, Dave also walked through the same forest again and found another leak.
Let's be honest, finding the leaks was not easy and frustrated us so much. Sometimes we really thought about giving up. And we are still not at the end. See for ourselves how many leaks we have repaired.
We didn't give up and finally made it in the end. We worked on the water pipe for several months and often came home very frustrated. So seeing the water flowing has been the most fulfilling moment of our project so far and simply means an incredible amount to us. Not only can we now restore the old water cycle again, but it also saves us a lot of time as we don't have to collect water from our streams and bring it up the mountain. That's it for today's update. We hope we were able to give you an insight into how intensive the repair of the water pipe was and how happy we are to have running water. We hope you enjoyed the episode. Please leave us some feedback in the comments and let us know what you think is missing or what we can do better. Thank you for your support and see you on the next update. Thanks for watching.